Hey everyone, yes again, and today I am so excited to share that we are going to try something new. We're going to do Skink Gourmet. I was watching cooking videos online and I realized that I could do a lot of the things that I like to make for myself in skink safe versions. And then I thought it would be really cute to watch my skinks try to eat gourmet meals, and then that kind of spiraled into me writing a whole bunch of recipes. So today we're going to try out the first of many recipes that I've prepared. Today we are making mini stuffed bell peppers for blue tongue skinks, and then I'm going to feed them to everybody and you get to see if they like them. Stick around, it should be a lot of fun. First, we're going to start by going over the recipe and talking about how it changed in the prep process. And then at the end, we're going to go over any changes that I decide to make later. But I think this is where we're keeping it at. So first, of course, the mini bell peppers. In my grocery store, these were just labeled mini sweet peppers. I weighed them out before and after dicing. Before dicing, they were about 280 grams, and cut with the stems cut out, they came down to 200 grams. So I just cut off the tops, I cut off the bottoms so they could stand upright, and then I took out all the stems and seeds. Not the stems, the fleshy triangle bit inside the peppers. This is 1 carrot shredded. It came out to about a half a cup of carrot. It's about 45 grams. This is 1 cup of diced arugula or chopped arugula. I honestly have never written a recipe, so I don't know if there's that much of a difference, but that's arugula. Here we have a 1/4 cup of diced green beans. It came out to about 35 grams. And then here we have 3/4 cup or about 12 grams of curly parsley. It's just, or not curly parsley, sorry, Italian parsley. And then the protein for this meal is going to be Big Country Raw quail, duck, and lamb mix. I like it because it's got whole ground quail in it, so there's a lot of bones and cartilage and all that good stuff. It is raw cat food, so this shouldn't be a staple in your skink's diet unless you have a baby or a gravid female, but once in a while, it's good for a treat. And I mean, this is Skink Gourmet. We're going for a treat. So once you have everything prepped the way that I have it here, you want to grab a large mixing bowl. You want to combine the cat food with all of these ingredients except for the parsley and the peppers. And then you're going to stuff the peppers and top with parsley. And then this week my skinks are due for multivitamins, so there's also going to be a little bit of Reptivite with D3 involved. Okay, so I'm just going to move the peppers out of the way here and the parsley because that comes later. In comes the mixing bowl, spoon. I'm going to start with the protein and then add the veg. Ideally for adult blue tongue skinks, you're looking for like a 50-50, maybe 60-40, where the 60 is veg to protein ratio. This one has a bit more veg than usual, but that's because of how fatty this meal is, and also because I wanted to zhuzh it up. Maybe I'm going to mess with this in the future. Maybe this turns into a blue tongue skink cookbook. Who knows? I will be right back. I got a little bit of raw cat food on my hand, and it's raw, so you should always wash your hands when dealing with the raw meat. Okay, I'm back from my having touched raw meat fiasco and having realized that I wasn't thinking. Now I'm wearing gloves. Oops, the thumb is on the wrong side. You ever try to put on a glove with the thumb the wrong side? Maybe you haven't, maybe you're perfect. Okay, and go the carrots. I'm not gonna let any carrot go to waste here. Okay, carrots are in the mix. Now we are adding the green beans. Oops, a green bean ran away. Just pop that in a mealworm bin real quick. Okay, and now the arugula. I have 10 blue tongue skinks to feed. I'm thinking that this should be about the right amount of food for the 10 of them, but I am going to make modifications to the recipe after I see how it turns out, just to get a general sense of portions. It's time to mix it up until it's all mashed in real good. One of my favorite things about having blue tongue skinks is their diet being so varied. I personally get a lot of enjoyment out of writing up what I'm going to feed them, meal planning, buying different things, seeing if they enjoy different things. All of these things bring me a lot of joy. Okay, we're looking good. Looking pretty well mixed up here. So now our next step is going to be filling the peppers. So as you can see, I cut these peppers, took out the insides. I also cut the bottoms off of them so that they could stand upright because they weren't quite shaped. I'll put a picture on screen of what they look like originally, probably around here. They weren't quite shaped in a way that they could stand up, the way that a bell pepper is a little more square. These were a little more pointed. I have seen more square mini peppers before, but that is not what I could find in the grocery store today. So we are working with what we've got. Well, I said grocery store today. I went to the grocery store yesterday. This is first thing in the morning because my skinks are most active in the morning, so that's when I like to feed them. And I was so excited about this that I woke up and started working on it right away. Okay, peppers are out. Now it is time to stuff them. And you know what? I bought these little compostable bamboo serving dishes because I thought I'm not just going to give them their food on their regular plates. This is gourmet after all. So I am just going to put out a couple plates for the first round, and then we'll move them aside and keep moving them as needed. And then I will bring them all back here to do the parsley and multivitamin stage, and then we get to feed them. Okay, I'm so excited. Hold it together, yes. Hold it together. Okay, here we go. Of course, you can stuff a bell pepper with just about anything, so I think the usual skink meatball mix would also do really well in these. And any extra that I have of this mix, I'm just going to freeze to feed another day. Some of these peppers were a little tight, so I'm going to be kind of squeezing them to get stuff in there. If it'll cooperate with me, please. Please, sir, may I stuff you? But we're probably going to fast forward through this part. Okay, that's the last of the peppers, and I still have probably about a third of the skink mix left. So I'm going to prep these to feed, and then afterwards I'm going to make more with the remaining peppers that I didn't cut. And I'll probably freeze those for later, but I just want to get a rough sense of the actual recipe so that I can give you all a one skink version of this. Here we have stuffed mini bell peppers for 10 blue tongue skinks. I'm gonna apply a little bit of multivitamin before I do the parsley. Now for our last ingredient, the parsley on top. I'm just gonna go a little wild with it because they're really small. So there's just gonna be parsley in the plate like a garnish. Now, I don't know how well the skinks are going to be able to eat these inside of the pepper. I imagine what's actually going to happen is they're going to take a bite, knock them sideways, and then just start chomping on them, maybe licking out the insides. They do like bell pepper, but normally they get it chopped up really small. So I'm actually not super confident that they're going to be able to get these down, but that's okay. Okay, just a little bit of parsley left over, but I'm still going to make more of these, so we'll save that for that. And just like that, mini bell peppers stuffed for blue tongue skinks. Okay, I'm back. Everybody's eaten. I think they were a hit. I wound up using the rest of the 1 pound bag of the mini bell peppers, and in total we wound up with about 20 servings. I'm in Canada. I'm going to give you an approximate cost of what everything costs, but keep in mind, I don't know what bell peppers cost where you live. So in total, it was about $21.50 for everything. That's counting the full bag of arugula and green beans and parsley that I wound up with a lot of extra of. And it's only counting a quarter of the cost of the raw cat food. So if you bought the whole thing of raw cat food, it would be about $15 more, but then you would have enough for several more feedings. So all in, it was just a little bit over $1 per serving, which I think is actually really reasonable. It wound up being a little bit more of a food puzzle than I had anticipated. I kind of figured that they would have to work a little bit to get it out of the big bell pepper, and that is exactly what happened. A few of them figured out that if you crush the pepper, you get to the goods on the inside, and a few of them didn't, so I came back 15-20 minutes later and just popped the filling out of the peppers, took the peppers out because they can't eat peppers that big, and that's that. I am going to wind up with a little bit of food waste, which I don't love, but I think it was worth it for having a novel enrichment and also for how cute it was to give them stuffed bell peppers. I hope you enjoyed. The recipe is going to be here at the end. I'm going to have the recipe cards up on the screen. I'm also going to be posting the recipe on my Instagram, which is just @Skinkology. And if you try this, please tag me in it. I would love to see other people feeding skink gourmet to their blue tongue skinks or other omnivores. I think like tegus would enjoy something like this. Use the hashtag skink gourmet so that I can see it. I would love to see other people trying gourmet meals with their skinks. And stay tuned because I've written like 7 or 8 other recipes that I'm gonna try, so I have a few months worth of stuff to get through, and we're gonna see what the skinks think. Let me know what you think. Let me know you try it. I'm dying to see you try it. And now that we're at the end of the video, I also have to give a huge shout out to my Patreon supporters. Billy and Al, your support means the absolute world to me. It makes me feel full and light, and it also helps support the work that I do, doing occasional rescues, and feeds back into this channel, into the cost of keeping up with this stuff. So thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here. I love you. I love all of you. Please let me know what you thought of Skink Gourmet, and let me know what your skinks think of stuffed bell peppers. Okay, thanks everybody. Bye.